Good morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a few moments to become present. Find a nice, comfortable seated position where you can sit and have your spine and the back of your neck nice and long and tall. Opening up your chest, opening up your diaphragm, and opening up your heart. Gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. And soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on the mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. When setting intentions, the Yamas and Niyamas can actually provide great guidelines. The Yamas, which we've been talking about, are guidelines on how to interact with the world. And the last of the 5 Yamas that we'll be talking about is Aparigraha. Aparigraha is Sanskrit for non-attachment, non-possessiveness, and non-hoarding. This guideline is simply about letting go. So the non-attachment, you think of attachment, letting go. So there's a great quote from Deborah Adele in her book about Yamas and Niyamas. She said, "A bird cannot hold its perch and fly." Just visualize that bird attached to the perch and trying to fly. It's not going to work. Letting go of the perch, it's free to fly. Our mind, body, and spirit can become attached to things like possessions, attached to emotions, attached to experiences, and attached to expectations. Like the bird, when we let go of our grasp on these things, we are free to fly. For this morning's pranayama, I'm going to start off with another quote by Deborah Adele. She said, "What if we could trust life like we trust the breath? Let the simple act of inhaling and exhaling teach you about the fullness of breathing in life without the need to hold on to it." So for the breathing technique to exemplify this, I thought we would do the Vishama Vriti, which is an equal length, Sama Vriti is equal length breathing. The Vishama is extending the exhale. So it emphasizes the act of letting go. So let's breathe in on the count of 4 and then exhale to the count of 6. And I'll guide you in that for a little bit. And then I'm going to be quiet and continue on. And you can come up with your own count. Maybe you want to extend beyond the 6, just to really let that exhale and let that go. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you continue on for a few moments. You can return to your natural breath. This morning's meditation, there's a mudra, it's Kshepana, and it's a mudra that helps you to let go of that which no longer serves you. Let go of that which no longer serves you. So to do the Kshepana, bringing your fingers together, interlacing them, and then having your index fingers remain upright. And you would bring that to your heart center. So let's just take a few moments to meditate. You can incorporate that mudra if you like. You can continue on with the Vishama Vriti, the extended exhale, and we'll meet on the mat. You may open your eyes now. We'll start our asana practice. Let's start just by doing some seated cat-cows and incorporating our head nods in that. We're just kind of loosening up our necks. So usually we just kind of sit here and up and down our neck, but let's just kind of get into it a little bit more by rounding our back, dropping our head down, coming into a seated cat pose. So our back spine rounded. And then inhale, coming back up. We're going to extend our chest forward, Just kind of arch like we're doing the cow, sending our gaze up above the tree line. Exhale, sending our gaze back down, rounding our back. Inhale, lifting up, opening our chest, sending our heart forward. Exhale, rounding the back, sending our gaze back down. And then inhale, coming back up, extending our heart forward, gaze up to the tree line, and then come back to a neutral position. We'll just do a few shoulder shrugs to kind of just loosen up the upper body again. We loosen up our head, our neck, just loosen up a little further down in the shoulders. Just soften our shoulders as we talk about in the beginning. Soften our thoughts and just kind of let things go away and just kind of be present. We soften our eyes, and that can be literally and figuratively. We soften what we see about ourselves. No criticism on the mat. Soften our shoulders. We just let the weight of the world go after or for the time that we're on our mat. And then soften our heart. Just be open and flexible to what comes to you today. And then we'll do a few seated sun breaths, kind of like what we did last week with the chest, incorporating chest opener. So we'll do that again too. I think it'll be useful in our practice today. It's bringing our tips of our fingers to the mat. We're going to inhale, lifting our hands up overhead. Palms come together, and then palms come to heart center on the exhale. Inhale, open our palms wide. Oh, look, speaking of. Let them go on. And then exhale, palms come together. Inhale, reach them up overhead. And then exhale, just let your fingers float back down to the mat. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale up. Palms come together. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Inhale, chest opener. So we'll widen our hands, just bringing our hands at least to our shoulders. If not, you can find that sweet spot, bringing them a little further back. Then close them back together. Inhale back up. And then exhale, let them float back down. One last time. Inhale up. Palms come together. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Inhale, palms open for chest openers. And then exhale, close them back, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, palms come up overhead. And then let your fingertips float back down to the earth. We'll come up into tabletop. We're coming up onto our hands and knees. Our wrists are right below our shoulders, knees right below our hips, navel's tucked to the spine. We're going to push down gently into our fingertips so that our arms are nice and straight and strong and creating space between our shoulders and our ears. Then we're going to do some head turns. We usually do that all at once at the very beginning, but kind of breaking it up today. So I'm going to turn our head like you're saying no to the right, And then back to center. And then gently turn your head to the left. Back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Back to center. And one last time, inhale to the right. Keeping that pressure in your hands. Keeping that distance, that space between your shoulders and your ears. Back to center, and then one last time to the left. And back to center. Then we'll do what I call the rear view. So we're going to extend our right leg so that we land on the ball of the foot. And then bring that right foot over to the left. And then send our gaze back to the right foot. Nice gentle stretch. And then bring that knee back to tabletop. And we'll do that on the other side. Extend the left foot, landing on the ball of the foot. Really just kind of pushing the heel to the back, stretching out that leg. And then lift that left leg, bring it over to the right side of the mat, and then turn your gaze to your left foot. And then bring that left leg back to tabletop. And we'll do a few cat-cows. So rounding our back, coming into the cat pose. Tails dropped, heads dropped. Then inhale, lifting our head up, tailbone up, sending our gaze straight ahead. And then exhale, rounding the back to cat again. And then lifting our head up to cow. And then going at your own pace, just synchronizing your breath with your movement. Keeping a little pressure in your hands so you keep your space nice and open. We'll do a few cat-cows here. And then come back to tabletop, tucking the navel into the spine, nice flat back. And bring our knees together and we'll do a few bird dogs. So we're going to extend our right leg out and just check in on our hands, make sure our weight is equally distributed in our hands so that we're not tipping over to one side. And then lifting our left hand up. And then pointing our toes on the right foot on the inhale, and then flexing our foot on exhale. Point, inhale, flex, exhale, 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 and then bring your hand and your knee back down. We'll do that on the other side. So lifting our left leg up, again, checking in with your hands, make sure your weight's evenly distributed, not tipping to one side, and then lifting your right arm up. Point, inhale, flex, exhale, point, inhale, flex, exhale, point, inhale, flex, exhale, point, inhale, flex, exhale, point inhale, flex exhale, point inhale, flex exhale, point inhale, flex exhale, and bring your hand and your knee back down. And we'll just take a moment, come into child's pose. You can lower your hips to your ankles, extend your arms out, or maybe bring your arms around, whichever is more comfortable for you today for child's pose. Make it a nice stretch. We'll have other child poses where we're going to use it as a kind of a break or relaxation. You know, the yin yang kind of bouncing off the moves, but this one, we kind of have it be a little active, doing a little bit of a stretch. And then come back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under and walk your hands back. And come up onto the balls of your toes so you're in a squat. And then push down into your toes and come up to mountain pose. I just want to share that I actually threw out my lower back yesterday. Used to be a very common occurrence before I started doing yoga regularly. Now it only happens very occasionally, very rarely. So I'm not stopping, I'm just modifying. And that's, you know, the key to anything. We just find that sweet spot between effort and relaxation. It might be a little different than when my back's fine. So I'm looking for that sweet spot today. And so some of the poses I'm modifying just to keep that sweet spot intact. So, mountain pose. So let's lift our toes up off the mat, spread them wide, and bring them back down to the mat. And then come up on our heels, and then lower our heels back down the mat, and really get a sense of that nice grounding feeling that you have today, that you are grounded. The earth's supporting you. And then we're gonna just check in with our legs, make sure they're nice and straight, but with a soft, gentle bend in our knees. Take nails tucked to the spine. That's gonna help me today with my lower back issue. My spine is going to be nice and long and tall. Back of my neck's nice and long and tall as well. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin is tucked toward the chest. And the crown of the head is reaching up to the sky. And sweep my hands up and overhead. Big inhale. And then exhale, coming down. Bringing our hands down to the mat, and this is where my modification comes in. I usually bend my knees, but today they're going to be super bent. In fact, I'm going to probably come into a squat because that is where it's more comfortable for me today. And then I'm just going to check in here. And then come up to a half forward fold, which isn't going to happen. And then I'm going to just come back up to mountain pose. So you can do that, you know, coming down forward fold, half forward fold, and then forward fold on your own. So I'm going to sweep our hands up overhead, come up onto tippy toes. I'll do a few palm trees, but with up on our tippy toes. So we're going to keep our hands up and then slowly exhale as we bring our hands down. And as we bring our hands down, we're going to bring our heels back down to the mat. And then inhale up slowly with control, lifting up onto our tippy toes. Whoop-de-doo. So it's a balancing move, but also strengthening our feet, the muscles in our toes. And then exhale, come back down. And then one more time, coming back up onto our tippy toes. Nice controlled movement. Really feel that balance. And then exhale, coming back down. And I'm going to come all the way down again to the mat, to the floor, really bending my knees. I'm going to come into a squat, but you can come into the forward fold with your knees bent. And then half forward fold. That works for you today. And then forward fold, bringing the crown of your head down toward the mat. And then bringing your hands all the way up. Back up. Sweeping your hands up overhead, palms come together. Right palm comes to the right thigh. And then you just slide it down toward your right knee, creating a nice crescent shape. Then inhale, come back up. Palms come together. We'll do that on the other side. Left hand comes down. Slide it down toward your knee. Nice crescent shape. And then back up again. One more time on each side. Right hand comes down. Slide it down toward your knee. And then come back up again. And then left hand comes down. Sliding it down toward your knee. And one last time, bring your hands up overhead. And then sending them back down to the mat. Bending your knees as you go. I'm going to come into a squat. Forward fold. And then half forward fold, flattening out your back. Nice straight spine. And then lowering your head toward the mat. And then sweeping your hands all the way up overhead. And we're going to keep our hands upright, and we're going to extend our foot back just behind us, landing on the ball of our foot. And as we do, we're going to sweep our hands down and kind of come into airplane arms. And then we're going to lift our arms back up, bring our foot back to center. And then the left foot, we're going to bring that back, landing on the ball of our foot, sweeping our arms back, airplane arms, and then coming back up, bringing our hands up and our foot back to position. And then we'll do that a few more times. Just extend your right foot back, landing on the ball. Nice controlled flow. Sweeping back up. And then on the left foot, landing on the ball of our foot, sweeping our arms back. And then we'll come back up. Palms come together. Palms come to heart center. And palms come to the back of the hips. Our feet are about hip width apart. Fingers are pointing down. Palms of our hands are sitting on our hips. Our shoulders are relaxed and loose and rolled back. We tuck our chin toward our chest, and then we'll just dip our shoulders back and just come into that supported back bend, right to the point where you can hear your breath get maybe a little shallow, and then kind of ease up, making your breath nice and flowing. Deep inhales and deep exhales without any shallow breathing. And then come back up. And we'll mosey on. So sweeping our hands all the way up overhead again. And then bringing them back down to the mat. I'm going to bend my knees, looking forward fold, placing both hands on the mat. I'm going to then send the right foot back, coming into runner's lunge. And just kind of get into position here. The left knee's right over the left ankle. You're on the ball of your right foot, pushing your heel to the back, and maybe feeling that stretch between your left leg and your right leg. Just really open up that stretch there. And then placing your right hand on the mat, we'll sweep our left hand all the way up to the sky, following it with your eyes. Nice runner's lunge with a twist. And then bring your left hand back down. And then we're going to bring our left foot back to join the right foot, coming into plank pose. Navel's tucked to the spine. Shoulders are right above our wrists. Heels are pushing back. No saggy tummies. And then we'll come down to the mat, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Coming all the way down. And then we're going to place our arms alongside of our body with our palms facing up and our chin just gently resting on the mat. We'll do half locust here. So you're gonna raise, well, first of all, just kind of check in with your pelvic bones. Make sure they kind of stay either connected to the mat or parallel to the mat. And then we'll lift our right leg up, keeping that same connection. We're trying not to tip one way or the other. And then back down. Then lift the left leg up. And lower it back down. We'll do this a few more times. Right leg comes up. Inhale. Exhale back down. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale back down. Again, right leg up. Check in, make sure you're still parallel with the mat, with the floor. Right leg comes down. And then last, left leg comes up and comes back down. Bring your hands along or underneath your shoulders. Elbows are tucked close to your side. Lifting the chin and chest up, gently pressing into your hands, coming up into cobra. And then pushing, coming up into tabletop, and then lowering down to child's pose. And then come back up to tabletop, tucking our toes under. We're going to lift our hips up to the sky, coming into downward dog, and pedal out here for a few moments. Fingers are gripping the mat, index fingers pointing to the top of the mat. Arms are nice and straight and strong. You bring your chest toward your thighs to elevate your hips up to the sky. And just gently pedal out here, taking a few deep breaths. And then on the inhale, we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow. So inhale, bringing up, pushing off with your left foot. And then back again, pedal out. And then inhale, lifting your right knee, bringing it toward your right elbow. And then back, pedal out. And then this last time, we're going to bring our right foot all the way up to our hands, coming into runner's lunge. So inhale, lift the right foot, bring it to the hands, coming into runner's lunge. And then we're going to come into high lunge from here. So you can do that. Your knee, right knee is over your right ankle, and you're on the ball of your left foot. So you can do this in 2 steps. You can bring your hands to your knee and then come up. Or if you can just come all the way up. I'm going to do it in 2 steps. And then lift our hands up to the sky. A little bit of back bend here. And then we're going to straighten out our knee, our front knee. And as we do, we're going to bring our hands down and sweep them back into airplane arms. And then bend our knee again, sweeping our hands back up overhead. And we'll do 2 more of these and do them at your own pace. Maybe slow is not the way to go. And then sweeping back, really focusing on the placement of your feet, sending that energy into your feet to really connect to the earth. Find that stability, straightening out your leg, and then coming back up. So we're back to the lunge with our arms up. And then we'll bring both hands back down to the mat, back to runner's lunge. And we'll bring our right foot back to join our left foot. Coming into plank pose and lowering down chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. And this time, we're going to have our arms alongside of us, and we'll do full locust. So we're going to lift our arms and our legs up at the same time on the inhale, and then exhale, bring them all back down. We'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, lifting everything up, and then back down again. And one last time, inhale, lifting up and back down. Bring your hands underneath our shoulders, sending our chin and chest up, then gently pressing in our hands, coming back up to cobra. And then back up to tabletop, and then down for child's pose. Let me just take a few deep breaths here. And then back up to tabletop. Tucking the toes under, come back up to downward dog. Walk your dog out for a few moments. I don't know where my dog went. Probably into his bed. And then slowly walk your feet up toward your hands, coming into forward fold. And I'm going to come down into a squat. And then pushing down, coming up to mountain pose. And then we're going to fly like a bird. So, starting with our right foot planted on the mat, just really maybe spread your toes and lift your heel and connect your right foot to your mat. We're going to send our arms up and send our left foot back so that we're on the ball of our left foot. And then sweep our hands down, pivot at the waist, lift up our left foot, and come in to flight. And then come back down. Well done, everyone. We'll do that on the other side. I'll just take a moment here. And then sweeping your hands up overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, bringing your hands down to the mat. We're going to extend our left leg back, coming into a runner's lunge. So our right knee is right above our right ankle. Left foot, the ball of the foot's into the mat. And again, just feel that nice stretch between the legs. Then placing our left hand on the mat, we'll sweep our right hand all the way up to the sky. And then back down again. And take our right foot, bring it to the back of the mat to join the left foot. Coming into plank pose. Navel's tucked to the spine. Heels are pushing back. And then we'll lower slowly down to the mat, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Bring our arms alongside of us. Palms up, we'll do half locust. And we're trying to keep our hip bones parallel to the mat or resting on the mat. So we'll lift our right leg up, keeping everything straight, and then back down. Left leg comes up, and then back down. Inhale, right leg up, and back down. Inhale, left leg up, and back down. One last time, right leg up, and down. Left leg up, and down. Fingers come right below our shoulders. Our chin and chest lift up, then pushing down into our fingertips, we'll come into cobra. Actually, this feels really good for my back. And then inhale, come up to tabletop, and then down to child's pose. And then back up to tabletop. Tuck our toes under, lift our hips up, coming into downward dog. And we'll pedal out here for a few moments. Fingertips are gripping the mat, index finger facing to the top of the mat. Arms straight and strong, chest reaching toward your thighs. And then we're going to bring our left knee toward our left elbow. So inhale, lift the left knee, bring it to the right elbow, pushing off with your right foot. And then back again, pedal out. And then left knee to left elbow, inhale. And then back to downward dog, pedal out. And then the last one, we're going to bring that left foot between our hands, coming into runner's lunge. So inhale, lift your left foot, bring it between your hands, coming into runner's lunge. Then we really feel the connection of our feet and the ball of our back foot to the mat. We're going to come up to a high lunge in 2 steps. So 1, bringing my hands to my knee. And then 2, I'm coming back up into a high lunge position, lifting arms up overhead, creating a little bit of a back bend. And then sweeping our arms down as we straighten our front leg, sweeping down and back, airplane arms, and then sweeping forward all the way up as we bend our knee down. And just feel as you're moving, hands coming down, legs straightening up. What can you do to make this move a little bit more secure or stable for you? Maybe adjust your foot, Maybe not bend your knee or straighten your knee as far as, rather. And then one last time, bending the knee, reaching up to the sky. And then bringing both hands back down to the mat, back to runner's lunge. Bringing the left foot back to the right foot, back to plank pose. And then slowly lowering back down to the mat, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Bring our arms alongside of us. And we'll do a full locust. And I had my arms alongside, but I kind of splayed them out like a bird flying. So you can do whatever feels good for you. So we're gonna lift both the legs and the arms up for full locust, and then back down again. Inhale, lift them up, and back down again. And one last time, lifting up, and then back down again. And bringing our hands right below our shoulders, elbows tucked to the side, lifting our chin and chest up, and then gently pressing in our hands, coming up to cobra. And then lifting up to tabletop and back down to child's pose. And take a moment of rest here. And then back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up to downward dog, and pedal out here for a moment. The last walking of the dog for the day. And then slowly walking your feet up to your hands, coming into forward fold, or in my case, squat. And then pushing down, come up to mountain pose. And then we'll do warrior 3 or flying like a bird, same thing, on the other side. So we're gonna plant our left foot, maybe lift your toes up and reconnect them, lift the heels up, reconnect, just feel and find that stability in that left leg. And then we're gonna lift our arms up, send our foot back, and bending in your left knee, I should have mentioned that earlier. That shouldn't be straight, should have that soft bend in your knee. Sending your leg up and your arms back, and fly like a bird. Woo-woo. Let me try that again. We do have one leg that's a little stronger, maybe more cooperative than the other leg. But that's what I love about yoga. It gives you an equal opportunity to strengthen both sides of your body. Well done, everyone. So we'll bring our pinky toes to the edges of the mat, tuck the heels in toward the center at a 45-degree angle. Hands come to heart center, and then we'll lower our torso to the mat, wide-legged squat, bringing the elbows to the inner part of our knees. Take a few deep breaths here. And then bring our sit bones down. We're gonna roll down onto our back, so you can choose whichever way you like. Roll down, I'm gonna take the express method today. And bring my knees to the chest and give them a nice gentle hug. And then rock back and forth, give my lower back a nice massage, well-deserved massage. And if you like, you can draw some circles with your toes. That will also give your lower back a nice massage. And then maybe the other direction. And then we'll bring our feet to the mat, about a little bit more than hip width apart. And your arms can be either alongside you or maybe angled out a little bit just to support you. And we do some windshield wipers. So we're going to lower the knees to the right. And then inhale, bringing them back up, and then lowering them to the left. And what we'd like to do here is to create one nice even flow of movement. You just kind of sweep them from one side to another. Maybe synchronize it with your breath here. I'm trying to see if I can do the extended exhale with this. And I think it's a little bit too symmetrical of a movement. The even or equal breath is probably the way to go here. And do a few more, and then we'll come back to center. So back to center, our heels are hip width apart. We can tuck our heels closer to our hips, maybe to the point where we can even touch the back of our heels with our fingertips. So it's pretty tucked, the heels are tucked pretty well back. And we'll do a few cat-cows and then go into bridge pose. So we're do a cat, or we kind of curve or tuck our navel to our spine, creating a bowl in our tummy, tilting our pelvis up, and then exhale and create a little bit of an arch on the lower back. And then inhale for cat again, creating that bowl, tucking the navel to the spine. Exhale to cow, arching our back. And then inhale back to cat. And then this time we're going to push down to our feet and lift our hips up toward the sky. And get to a point where it's comfortable for you. And then slowly come back down. So you're rolling on the upper part of your back so you can feel each vertebrae connecting with the mat as it comes down. Nice and slow. And then we'll do that a couple more times. So tucking your navel to the spine, creating that bowl for cat. And then arching for cow. Inhale, tuck in for cat. Exhale, a little arch for cow. Inhale, tuck in for cat. And keep it there, pushing down into your feet. Lift your hips up toward the sky again. And then slowly, slowly come down. Again, feeling that vertebrae connect with the mat as you go. And one last time. So start with our cats. Navel's tucked in, creating a bowl. Exhale to the cow. A little bit of an arch. Inhale to cat. Exhale to cow. Inhale to cat. And keep it there, pushing into your feet, lifting up, 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 to the sky. And then lowering one vertebrae at a time. Coming back down. And bring your knees to your chest. Give them a nice gentle hug. And then bring your arms out at shoulder height to each side. And we'll do a reclined twist. So we'll lower our knees to the right. And then gently turn your head to the left. Look at your left fingertips. And then slowly turn your head back to center. Lifting your knees back to center. And slowly lowering your knees to the left side. And slowly turning your head to the right. Look at your right fingertips. Dristis, 1 to 9 dristi points. And then slowly turning your head back to center. Lifting your knees back up to center. And then extending your legs down to the bottom of the mat, preparing for Shavasana. Send your heels to the corners of the mat. And let your feet just flop open. And then just do a body scan coming from your feet to your ankles, to your knees, letting everything relax. From your knees to your hips, to your lower back, and relaxing everything. Your arms alongside of you at an angle, palms up, relaxed, shoulders relaxed into the mat. Feel that snugness of the shoulder blades. All the way up to the top of your head. Eyelids gently closed and relaxed. And place a gentle smile upon your lips. Today's poem is by Danna Faulds. Title is Let It Go. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold. The holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it all go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you receive it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it all go and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation.